Honestly, I don't even think I deserve to write this, but maybe I need to. Maybe I need to say it out loud because it's been eating me alive. Many years ago, my nephew, my brother's kid, was left in our care after some family issues. He was just a boy, quiet, a little odd, but harmless. His parents weren't in the picture anymore, and instead of doing right by him, we did the exact opposite. We took everything from him. There was some inheritance money meant for him, some assets, and we split it up, rationalized it. He's just a kid. He'll understand when he's older. We're family, but deep down, we knew it was theft, plain and simple. And then we tossed him into the system like garbage, said we couldn't handle him anymore. Foster care took over. We moved on with our lives. We didn't look back. Fast forward to now. Things have been quiet for years, but a few weeks ago, his cousin, my son, was attacked. Someone broke into his house in the middle of the night, ransacked the entire place, and when he confronted them, they shattered both of his legs. The doctors said the injuries looked deliberate, controlled, like whoever did it wanted to inflict pain but not kill. We thought it was a robbery gone wrong at first, but nothing valuable was taken. Only personal items, childhood photos, a baseball glove they both used as kids. It wasn't random. It was a message. The police couldn't charge anyone. No fingerprints, no witnesses, no surveillance. But we knew. We all knew. It was him, our nephew, the boy we betrayed. He's not a boy anymore. He's a man shaped by abandonment, betrayal, and years in the system that we dumped him into. And now he's back, clever, quiet, and dangerous. None of us have heard from him directly. No calls, no threats. But we're all looking over our shoulders now. The family is on edge. Some have started boarding up their homes, installing cameras. Others are trying to reach out to him, as if a few words now could undo years of cruelty. I don't blame him. I hate that he's doing this. But I can't say I didn't see it coming. We made him this way. And now he's coming for the rest of us. Update 1. My son is traumatized. My aunt's house was hit next, and we still can't find him. I wasn't planning on posting again, but everything's gotten worse. My son, who was hospitalized in the initial attack, is refusing to speak to the police any further. At first he was cooperating, trying to describe what happened, trying to help. But a few days ago, someone visited him. I don't know who it was. He won't tell us. But ever since that visit, he's completely shut down. I asked him if it was his cousin, my nephew, and all he said was, "I'm not saying anything, just leave it alone." The look in his eyes was something I'll never forget. Pure fear. Like something broke inside him. Then we got a call. My aunt's home, she lives nearly 4 hours away, was broken into and completely ransacked. Every drawer pulled, every photo shredded, her belongings tossed everywhere like garbage. And it didn't stop there. Her car was set on fire in the driveway. The police said it was arson. They're investigating, but again, no fingerprints, no cameras, no suspects, just silence. And something else, her jewelry box was gone. It wasn't just any jewelry, it was the collection that once belonged to his mother, my nephew's late mom. Those were the only things she had left of her. She's shattered, not just from the loss, but from the realization that someone she once cared for, someone we all turned our backs on, might be behind it. The fear in her voice when I talked to her, I don't think I've ever heard her like that. We tried asking around, old foster contacts, old friends. No one knows where he is. It's like he's become a ghost, slipping in and out without leaving a trace. Word has spread to the rest of the family. Everyone is panicking. Some are installing new locks. Some are fleeing town. Others are just breaking down. The guilt, the fear, it's all catching up to us now. I don't know what his endgame is. Revenge? Closure? Justice in his own twisted way? But what I do know is we made this. We abandoned a boy who only wanted love and safety, and now he's become a shadow none of us can outrun. I'll update if anything else happens, though I'm terrified of what that might be. Update 2. Some family tried to run and were found beaten. It's not just him anymore. I wish I was making this up. I wish this was just a twisted nightmare I could wake up from. But it's all real. And it's getting darker than I ever imagined. Some of the family members tried to run. They packed up quietly, left town in the middle of the night, thinking they could get ahead of whatever this is. We found out this morning that they didn't make it far. They were intercepted somewhere outside the city. What we've been told is disturbing beyond words. They were badly beaten, and I don't mean a few bruises. I mean deliberately hurt. One of my cousins had his front teeth pulled out, one by one. Others were beaten so badly they're still in the ICU, the kind of injuries that don't come from random street thugs. This was calculated. But the worst part? The kids. Their children were taken. Not harmed, thank God, but taken by these men for their safety. That's what one of the attackers reportedly told them. Later, those kids were found at a gas station an hour away. Unharmed, confused, but safe. Police are investigating, but again, no evidence, no IDs, nothing. It's like ghosts are moving through our lives, tearing us apart. This is bigger than just my nephew. One of the men, according to a victim, said, "We should just end them now." But another guy replied, "No, the boss wants them hurting, not buried." The boss. Who the hell is the boss? My nephew, that quiet, awkward boy we abandoned and forgot about? Has he turned into someone capable of organizing something like this? Has he found others like him? Or did life out there harden him so much he found allies in darker places? I can't wrap my head around how he got these people, these monsters, to help him. Some in the family are spiraling into complete panic. Others are just waiting in dread. I don't know what to do anymore. I don't even know who to trust. The police say they're investigating, but what good is that when they're always one step behind? If my nephew is out there, and he's really behind this, then he's not the same kid we abandoned. He's something else now. And he has people behind him. God help us. Update 3. We thought it was over, but he was just waiting. It's been a few months since my last post. Things had started to calm down, at least on the surface. No more attacks, no more threats, no strange messages or disappearances. Some in the family even started to believe it was over, that maybe he was done. We were wrong. He was just quiet. Last week, another aunt, one of the core people who helped steal my nephew's inheritance, had her entire world collapse. Her boutique, which she ran for over a decade, was destroyed. First came the financial ruin. Someone used her personal information to open multiple accounts and loans in her name. She didn't even realize until collection agencies started coming after her. Creditors, lawyers, debt she never signed for. They drained everything. And then her store was vandalized, completely wrecked. Windows shattered, paint sprayed across the walls with words I won't repeat. But one thing stood out, scrawled in huge letters across the front. "You built this on blood money." She was devastated, said she feels like she's being haunted, hunted, and honestly, she probably is, like the rest of us. After that, a few of us finally sat down. Some of the family. Not all, but enough. We talked for hours. About what we did. About how it started. Who signed the papers. Who pocketed what. Who turned their backs. Who knew that he was sent into the foster system and said nothing. And, what crushed me the most, there were some relatives who did know, and were furious when they found out the full truth. They thought he was placed in care because no one could take him in. They didn't know we'd taken everything first. His inheritance, his trust fund, the money his parents left him, his future. We decided to try and gather everything we could. The jewelry, the personal items, the property, the cash, what's left of it, all of it. We want to give it back, not to earn forgiveness. We don't deserve that, but because we finally understand what we did, what we made. Some say it's too late. Others say he won't stop until we all lose everything like he did. I don't know if this gesture will mean anything to him. I don't know if it's redemption or just desperation, but it's all we can do now. We created this. We built this storm, And now we're standing in the middle of it, hoping it passes without tearing the rest of us apart. Update 4. We tried to fix what we did, but he left us a message. After everything that's happened, the violence, the silence, the fear, we decided to act. We did what we should have done years ago. We started putting the money back. The family pulled together everything we could. Bank transfers, jewelry, items we had hidden or sold. Even people who initially denied being involved started showing up with things they had taken. Guilt, fear, or both. Something finally broke in them. We reopened the trust fund that was originally created for my nephew. The same one we gutted years ago when we thought no one would ever hold us accountable. We've been depositing what we could recover, quietly and quickly, hoping the gesture would mean something, hoping he's watching. And then, we got news about the lawyer. The same smug, sharp-tongued attorney who helped us legally reroute the inheritance. The one who helped us sign everything over, hide the money, and bury our nephew in red tape and neglect. He's in the hospital now. Every bone in his body was broken. I'm not exaggerating. The doctors said it looked like blunt force trauma repeated methodically, bone by bone. He's in a full body cast, can't speak, can't eat normally. He's got a feeding tube down one side and a catheter on the other. The man who once strutted around like he owned the world is now silent and still, reduced to blinking in pain. Oh, we don't know who did it, but we know who did it. The fear in the family has reached new levels. Some are barely sleeping. Some are jumping at every sound. A few cars had their tires slashed last week. No notes, no threats, just silence and chaos, like a shadow passing through. We thought maybe the trust fund would buy us peace, that if we gave him back what we took, he'd let us go. But then we checked the account. There was already money in it, $666. None of us put it there, and the account was supposed to be empty, wiped clean after we took everything. But somehow someone got in and left that number behind. A message. We don't know what it means exactly. Maybe it's a warning. Maybe it's a sick joke. Or maybe it's his way of saying, I see you. We're still collecting everything we can. Even things we sold years ago. We're trying to track down buyers, asking to buy them back. We're desperate. Not because we think we can erase what we did, but because we know we can't. Somewhere out there, my nephew is watching all of this unfold. He's not talking, not showing himself, but his message is clear. This isn't forgiveness. This is judgment. Update 5. One of us cracked, and now the truth is out there, and he's not hiding anymore. It finally happened. One of the family members couldn't take it anymore. She broke, emotionally, mentally. Whatever strength she had left gave out. She posted a long, raw message online, confessing everything. Not just vague regrets, not half-hearted apologies. Everything. She wrote about how we stole from him, how we drained his trust fund, how we tossed him aside like trash and pushed him into the foster system, knowing damn well we could have prevented it. Names, dates, dollar amounts, no filters, no hiding. She begged for forgiveness in that post. She said she's haunted by what we did to him, that she sees his face in her dreams, not as a man, but as that quiet, broken boy we destroyed. She said she doesn't blame him for what he's doing, that we made this monster and now we all have to live with it. The rest of us tried to convince her to take the post down. She refused. Her words, "If I disappear, at least the world will know why." By then it was already too late anyway. Screenshots were flying, comments pouring in, strangers expressing horror, others cheering him on. And just like that, the truth was out in the open. No more hiding. And as if on cue, he came back. Another relative, one of the last still trying to pretend none of this was real, was targeted. This time it wasn't a beating or a broken car. It was something colder. He heard him. He heard my nephew's voice. Said he woke up in the middle of the night to something being moved in the kitchen. When he went to check, no one was there. But as he turned to go back to his room, he heard a voice from the darkness. calm, familiar. I wonder how it feels to sleep knowing you stole someone's future. That's all he said, then silence. And then a few days later, it escalated. While leaving a grocery store, that same relative saw a man leaning against his car in the parking lot. Big guy, older. Didn't say a word at first, just stared. When he cautiously approached and asked what he was doing, the man smirked and said, "Just looking at a fucking loser who stole his nephew's inheritance." He froze. The man added, "I helped raise that boy, in foster care. Watched him fight through everything you bastards left him with." Then with a smile that chilled him to the bone, he said, "Good luck. There's no stopping him now." And then he walked away. We don't know who that man was, but clearly my nephew is no longer acting alone. These aren't hired thugs. They're people who knew him, who lived what he lived, who believe in whatever mission he's on. The house of cards is crumbling faster than we can patch it up. We thought silence would protect us. Then we thought money would save us. Now we know neither matters. The truth is out, and he's not hiding anymore. Update 6. He came back, but not the way we expected. And now he's coming at us legally. We always thought, if he ever returned, it would be through shadows, violence, revenge. But he did something far more terrifying. He came back through the front door. Yesterday, we were served legal notices. My nephew, the boy we threw away, the one we stole from, the one we left to rot in the foster care system, is coming after us legally. And this time he's not alone, not hidden, and not the broken kid we thought we destroyed. He had changed his name years ago. We didn't know it until now. Turns out, while he was bouncing through group homes and shelters, while we were enjoying the life built on his money, he was rebuilding himself, quietly, determined, ruthless. The name on the documents was unfamiliar at first, until someone looked him up. That name? It belongs to the founder of a multi-million-dollar consulting firm, a man who partnered with one of the fastest-growing tech companies in the country, a man who gave speeches about overcoming adversity, a man who appears in articles about resilience, innovation, and rising from nothing. That man is him, my nephew, the kid we left with nothing, the kid we pushed into the dirt and expected to stay there. He didn't just survive, he thrived. And now he has lawyers, connections, power. He has filed lawsuits against several of us. Fraud, theft, emotional distress, misappropriation of funds, even conspiracy. And he's backing it all with evidence. The confession that one of the family members posted online, it's included. Every admission, every text, every email, bank statements, transfer records, old signatures. He's been watching, building, preparing. And now he's striking, legally, publicly, and with precision. The family is in full panic mode. Some are screaming at each other. Others are going dark, trying to delete old social media posts. But it's too late. The damage is done. Some believe he orchestrated everything, the attacks, the fear, the silence, to lead us to this exact moment. A full confession, a broken family, and now a legal war we're not prepared for. I looked at his picture online. He doesn't look like the boy I knew. He looks like a man who built his empire from the ashes we left him in. And now he's coming to burn down what we built on his stolen future. I don't know how this ends. But I know this. He's not the victim anymore. He's the reckoning. Date 7. He's not stopping. And now, some of us are breaking. The attacks haven't stopped. If anything, they've gotten worse. Another family member was beaten badly just a few nights ago, this time at their own home. Windows shattered, front door kicked in, no robbery, just pain. The man was hospitalized. His wife didn't even wait for the ambulance. She packed their kids in the car and left. Gone. Out of the city, maybe the country. We don't know. She left behind a message. We should have never been part of this. More and more of the family are starting to break. Some are talking about surrendering, cooperating fully, giving statements to the lawyers, handing over whatever scraps of inheritance they still have. They're desperate for this nightmare to end. But then we heard back from my nephew. Through his legal team, in a brief, chilling email, he made something very clear. There will be no settlements. You don't get to buy your way out after what you did. And just like that, any hope of ending this quietly vanished. He wants us to face it. All of it. I had a chance to see him recently. Not directly. We didn't speak. But I got close during a court pre-hearing. He was there, across the room, dressed in a tailored suit, quiet, unreadable. And yet, I felt it. There was a presence around him, not anger, not revenge, predatory calm, like a lion watching its prey from the tall grass, waiting for one of us to flinch, move, blink. He wasn't shouting, he wasn't gloating. He didn't need to. He owned the room. And me? I felt like a rabbit standing in front of a storm. Some of us tried to go to the police again. We reported the beating, the slashed tires, the threats, even brought up the idea that it was him behind it all. But again, no proof, no fingerprints, no camera footage, no direct threats, just silence, implied menace, legal filings, and pain. The cops can't or won't do anything. We're on our own, and everyone knows it now. We thought we'd raised a helpless boy. But what we did was forge a weapon, and now that weapon is pointed right back at us. He warned us in his own quiet way. This isn't vengeance, this is accountability. And now the rest of us? We're the ones running, hiding, waiting. Because the line isn't done yet. Update 8. He's taken full control. And I finally realized how far I've fallen. It's not just lawsuits anymore. My nephew, no, the man he's become, has added charges of slander and defamation against multiple family members. For the rumors we spread, the lies we told to cover our tracks, the things we said to justify stealing from a child. Every word is now ammunition. He's not just making life hard. He's suffocating us. Bank accounts frozen. Property liens, subpoenas. Private investigators asking questions at schools, workplaces, churches. No one's safe, not even the kids. They're scared now of the world, of us, of everything falling apart. Paranoia has infected every corner of this family. We check our windows twice. Neighbors are starting to whisper. The older ones cry, the younger ones hide. And through it all, he refuses to speak to any of us. No meetings, no phone calls. Nothing but silence and legal firepower. I didn't know what else to do. I couldn't breathe in my own house. So I got in my truck and drove out of the city, away from the noise, and went to the only place I thought I could think straight. My brother's grave. The last time I was there was the funeral. Years ago, before we got greedy, before we told ourselves lies to sleep at night. I thought maybe, I don't know, maybe I could make peace there. Beg for something in the silence. But then I saw it. Far ahead on the road near the cemetery. A black Harley, gliding slowly, deliberately. It wasn't just any bike. It was my brother's. The one he used to baby like it was another child. The one my nephew inherited before we took everything from him. The rider was tall, focused, helmet on. But I knew. That was him, my nephew. He didn't stop. He didn't wave, just passed by, slow like a warning, like a shadow crossing my soul. I pulled in, shaken, and then I saw the grave. It was a mess. Dead flowers, tipped over, dirt unsettled, trash nearby, and the glass vase, the one I left with the etched words, "You will never be forgotten, brother," shattered. And worse, blood. Just a little, just enough to make your knees go cold. I dropped to the ground and stared. The last time I was there, I made a promise. I told my brother, in front of everyone, that I would look after his son, that I would protect him, that I would honor him. But I didn't. I failed. I betrayed both of them, took what wasn't mine, and let my brother's son be swallowed by a world we threw him into. I sat there in silence for what felt like hours, and I realized something that cut deeper than any lawsuit, any threat, any whisper. He doesn't want revenge. He wants us to feel what he felt. Forgotten. Abandoned. And I do. God help me, I do. Update 9. We're losing everything, and now even the house is gone. The unraveling continues, and now it's not just fear or legal battles. It's consequences, final, crushing, inescapable. The family managed to gather a large portion of my brother's belongings, things we should have never taken in the first place. Items scattered across households, tucked away, sold and passed down like heirlooms built on theft. We even got back the engagement ring, the one his nephew took years ago and used to propose with. He told everyone it was a family piece. And technically, he wasn't lying. But it wasn't his. It was hers, my sister-in-law's, given to her by my brother. A piece of their love, their story, their legacy. When his wife found out the truth, that the ring had been stolen from a dead woman and used to lie his way into a marriage, she didn't hesitate. She filed for divorce immediately. She took the kids, filed for full custody, and left the house that same night. She told one of my nieces, if he lied about something so sacred, what else has he lied about? That nephew broke down completely. He was sobbing, begging for a chance to speak to his cousin, the one we all betrayed, begging for forgiveness. But it's far too late. The damage is deep, permanent, rotting through everything we built on stolen bones. Some of the others have given up entirely. They're not fighting the lawsuits anymore. They're not posting, not speaking, just waiting for the final blow. Because that's what it feels like, a slow, methodical collapse. People have lost jobs, reputations ruined. The internet found out about everything thanks to the public filings and the now viral posts. Names, faces, addresses. It's all out there. And my nephew, he's not letting up. The court just ruled. We are ordered to pay him back every cent we stole, with interest and emotional damage. 7 figures. Most of us can't even imagine paying that in a lifetime. But the judge made it clear. We will work, sell, bleed if we have to, but we will pay. As for me, I was told I have to vacate the house. The house that was never mine to begin with. It was my brother's. Then it was stolen, transferred, forged. And now the real estate agent who helped me process the deed years ago, he was found yesterday in a parking lot, beaten. Every limb broken, teeth shattered, a message sent without a word. So yes, we're leaving the house. We'll pack what we can. We'll take our shame with us. And we'll leave behind the ghost of the man I once promised to honor. I look at my hands sometimes, at everything I touched that was never mine, and I realize we didn't just steal money, we stole a future. And now that future has come back, powerful, ruthless, and with every right to destroy us. And he is. Final update. There's nothing left for any of us. It's been a couple of years. Since the lawsuits, the beatings, the convictions, the silence. There's nothing left now. Not for me, not for anyone who took part in what we did. I spent time in jail. So did others. Fraud, theft, forgery. It caught up with us, all of it did. Our wages are garnished now, every cent going to pay back what we stole. But it's not going to him, at least not directly. He made a statement shortly after the judgment. Every dollar will go to charity, to support abandoned children. Let what happened to me never happen to them. He turned our punishment into a mission. But the cruelest twist? He bought back the house, my brother's house, the one I stole. He didn't keep it for himself. He turned it into a foster care home for troubled youth. The very walls that once held warmth and family now filled again. But this time with purpose. The money we took is now slowly rebuilding what we destroyed. A few days ago, I went to my brother's grave. I hadn't been there in years, not since the funeral. Back then, it was unkempt, dirty, forgotten. Now it was clean, cared for, honored. And he was there. My nephew. I almost didn't recognize him. Not because he looked different, but because he carried himself like someone who'd survived hell and came out the other side unbreakable. With him was a woman. She saw me, whispered something to him, then stepped away, but not far. I saw the ring on her hand, his mother's engagement ring, and around his neck, the unmistakable glint of metal, his parents' wedding rings worn on a chain. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't cry. He just looked at me with a sadness deeper than anything I'd ever seen. Then he spoke. You took everything from me and made an empty promise. You even took my parents' rings before they were buried. I stood frozen. He turned to the graves and placed a new vase down. Etched into it, the words, never to be forgotten. He looked at me one final time and said, the young kid who trusted you is gone. He turned to walk away. Then, without stopping or looking back, he gave me one final command. Don't ever show your face at my parents' graves again. And that was it. He left with the woman at his side. He didn't yell. He didn't break down. He didn't forgive me. And I know now, he never will. There's nothing left but the damage we caused, the debt we'll never fully repay, and the silence of a life we shattered, rebuilt not for revenge, but for something bigger than any of us ever were.
What would you do in this situation? Let us know in the comments. If this story had you on the edge of your seat, smash that like button and subscribe for more jaw-dropping family drama, shocking betrayals, and the revenge stories you won't believe.